Lesson 2. Welcome and hello. I am Lottie the Robo Tiger. I will be your awesome presenter for this lesson. Start with your basic bodice pattern, or any bodice or shirt pattern in grave need of sleeves. Divide the arm side depth into thirds as indicated, and mark the points. From previously marked points, draft lines parallel to your bust line. Let's get a bit closer, shall we? Cross the second line from the top with your arm side curve as indicated on the diagram. Divide the bottom segment into halves, and extend toward the arm side curve. Mark the point. Enumerate the lines as indicated on the diagram. Measure the curve length between points 1 and 2. You can measure the distance by using your measuring tape or your curved ruler. Draft a line using the previously obtained measurement, starting at the point 2 so that it intersects the top third line as indicated. Mark the end point with A. Length of the curve between points 1 and 2 is equal to the length of line between points 2 and A. Measure the curve length between points 4 and 5. Starting at the point A, draft the segment of the same length until it meets the second third line. Mark the end point with letter B. Measure the curve length between points 3 and 4. Starting at the point B, draft the segment of the previously measured length, until it meets the bust line. Mark the end point with C. Measure the last segment between points 2 and 3. Draft the measurement segment starting at the point 2, until it meets the bust line. Mark the end point with D. Divide BC segment into halves, and draft a perpendicular line downwards, measuring 0.75 centimeters. Mark the point. Divide the AB segment into halves, and draft a perpendicular line upwards, measuring 1 centimeter from the starting point. Mark the point. Divide the A2 segment into thirds, marking the upper third mark as indicated on the diagram. Draft a perpendicular line measuring 2 centimeters from the starting point, mark the new point. Lastly, divide the D2 segment into halves, and draft a line perpendicularly downwards, measuring 1 centimeter. Pay attention to the drafted points, and make sure you achieved a similar point placement. Connect the points as indicated on the diagram, by using a curved ruler. The curve you just drafted represents your sleeve ball, or your sleeve cap. The length of a curve should be longer compared to your arm side curve length, about 1 or 1.5 centimeters. If we were working with heavier fabric, such as we would use for coats for example, the ease would be about 2 centimeters. For plain shirts, t-shirts, or other garments made out light or stretchy fabric, the ease is considerably less or non-existent. To increase or decrease sleeve cap, manipulate the segment points. To finish off a sleeve pattern, draft a vertical line from point A, measuring the amount of your sleeve length. Mark the end point. At the bottom point, make a horizontal line measuring the amount of your wrist measurement plus 5 centimeters of ease, in case your sleeve doesn't have a cuff. Connect the following points to the curve starting points, and mark out your pattern. At point B of your sleeve and point number 4 of your arm side, make a double notch, marking the back side of your sleeve. At point 2 of your sleeve and your arm side, make a single notch to mark the front side. The lesson is finished. Time for recess, or other stuff. Thank you for watching. This was your Lottie the Robo Tiger. Help us to keep the channel alive, by sharing and subscribing.